All right, everyone. This is going to be Todd. Did you read the book?
No, sorry.
So I have company from me as I talked to y'all about a book neither one of them read. What
Yep.
the hell?
I suck. I'm
We just
sorry.
figured we'd come out and hang out with you
So,
and get the highlights.
Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm telling you, this is a good one. This one's just as good as the first one we did. Um, if you're having trouble with bad habits, if you're having trouble making good habits, I'm telling you, I can't recommend this one enough. Um, really, I listened to it in half in one trip and half in another, and I finished the last chapter this morning. It is really some interesting things. He talks about the power of habits and the power of small change, and really I started realizing as I was listening to because I can't read. So Jacob, you've read this book. You need to come on and help me, and we'll kick Todd and these two off. We'll kick these slackers off. So Better Barbie says she agrees. Yeah, this one's you had to resubscribe.
Huh?
Rhonda, we've been missing you. What the hell? Um, but it's you wonder why you can't make things stick. You wonder why you have trouble doing things. And he gives in this book, not only does he tell you about forming habits, but he also gives you there's great examples from people how they've done things. There's also specific examples you can use in your life. And he starts off in the first bit talking about the small habits and incremental change. And so he said, but something about if you changed 1%, you're cutting 300 willows. Well, what is David doing then? So you should be at home waiting for David to deliver 300 willows. What the hell?
Mhm.
Order them through his UPS. But and so the point he makes is if I forget what the number is that if you increase 1% over every day for a year, the percentage up you are it's a big number up percentage you are improved and how much better you are throughout the year just with being 1% better 1% better 1% better. But then he stops and he says if you're 1% worse every day, because he does a very good job in this book talking about the inverse. So where does the bad habit start and what is the good habit? And the difference is it is incremental change. It is in small change. It is in small improvements over time versus, because everybody's heard the term a slow fade. You know, it's, you skip a day, you skip 2 days, you start forgetting things don't become important to you. So it doesn't, you don't immediately fall off the wagon, which it would probably help if you got hit by the train. Uh, Yeah, so Ron and I talked about this on the phone too. He says it pisses him off that he didn't follow this earlier. He tried to do it his way. Um, so in the first chapter or so, he's talking about the difference between systems and goals, and they're both extremely important. Goals are very important to give you an overall direction of where you want to go, but the systems are how you get there, and it's how you should set a goal and then design systems in your life to get there. And it's the Um, he talks about compounding of money, and you essentially get the same thing, the incremental improvement over time. You get you compounded, it compounds your change. Um, and very interesting topic. He starts talking about habits shape your identity, and he starts talking about um, how you identify, how you talk is who you, is that person you become. Your habits, and it's like so if you're a like I tell everybody all the time, I'm terrible with names. I identify myself as someone who's terrible with names, and therefore I am terrible. It's a self fulfilling prophecy. and he talks about that. He says, you can change the, you know, don't, don't refer to yourself as this. Put in, put in habits to create better ways to, because there are ways you can remember names. There are things that you can do, and that's just an example right off that I had off the top of my head. Um, but as he dives into the habit loop, and all habits, there's a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward. It's a loop that goes over and over, that keeps you doing the same thing over and over. Um, this is going to be short because nobody else is here. David has read the book too. See, how can both King brothers have read the book and neither one of y'all have read it?
We're lazy.
Their whole family, read the book. But the thing that I find very interesting is as he talks about how to build good habits, he immediately reverts back to telling you how to get rid of a bad habit, and it's do the exact opposite. He's got 4 laws. The first law is to make it obvious. And so if the first part of building a habit is to make it obvious, the first part of killing a habit would be make it where you can't see it, make it where it's hard. Next one is make it attractive. And so the opposite of make it attractive would be make it unattractive. So make it a pain point. If you do this, this happens. If you do this, this happens. And so you can see how you can he used some examples where some guys at the end of the book had created a habit contract, and he wanted to do his personal meditation every morning. He wanted to do so many sales calls. There's like 4 things he wanted to do every day, and so he kept a tracker and made a contract with his personal trainer and his wife. So every time, and if he didn't do the personal training, if he didn't go to the gym, his 5 days a week or 6 days a week, the personal trainer would call the wife, and he'd owe the wife so much money to go shopping. And if he didn't do certain other things, the wife checked up on it. So the pain point for him was having to give money away. And one of his pain points was he had, instead of going casual, if he missed one, he would have to wear a business suit to the office every day instead of dressing casual or however he normally dressed. So he put some things in there that he knew he didn't want to do. But he talks about if you want to create a habit pairing, correct? So make a list of all your habits, and then you can decide whether they're good or bad. And if you want to add new ones in, he said pair them with good habits. So say your good habit is, so you want to add meditation every morning. So it's if your first good habit was you wake up every day at 5:30, and you do a shower. One of his habits will be when you get out of bed, put the journal or something on, so by your towel. So whenever you got finished getting dressed, that you could pair it, you could put it in line. Habit coffee. Is that it? But it just makes a lot of sense. The way I'm terrible at explaining at a book that I listen to. Supposed to have some help, but both these two are going to be fired. They're going to be penalized later. But making it satisfying is make it easy and make it satisfying are your last 2 laws, and it is amazing how every habit falls under these, and how you really got to read the book, because he does a wonderful. He's a very good explainer. He's a very good, and this is something that he went through himself, and then after he decided, how did I get where I was? He started doing a lot of research into with psychologists and others to tell you why. why he got the result he did and why he thinks that happens. He does it. He's a very good explainer. Let's see. So making it obvious. Design your environment to prompt your desired habits. Make it attractive. Pair good habits with something you enjoy. Make it easy. Reduce friction and simplify the starting point of your habits. And then make it satisfying and reward yourself for completing habits to reinforce the loop. So if you want to kill a habit, you do the exact opposite of all those. Do the opposite like the Seinfeld guy? No, absolutely.
Have you tried this yet?
I just finished the book this week, but it definitely makes it's another one. It's like the first book. It makes you think a lot about why you do what you do, and how to get more out of things. I am definitely trying to think more of systems because Big John has always talked about systems since me and him. Since I've known him and since he built his business, he's talked about systems, and I like that in my life. And so I've been thinking of like today. Today when I got up this morning, I tried to because that's one of the things he talks about is I don't do a good job planning my day. I just kind of go willy nilly, like like a bunny rabbit hopping around. And so today, so Doug says he loves it, needs to reread it. I'm definitely this is one of the two that I'm definitely gonna reread as well. Bassanode, you're 100% correct. We are creatures of repetition, and it's how do you make sure. And Todd got that cha-ching because he hit the like button, so you make sure y'all hit the like button.
Yeah.
But it's amazing the habits. If you want to get rid of a habit, if you just make it more difficult, make it less attractive, and add those kind of things to it, and don't expect it to go away immediately.
That's not a bad idea. I kind of already do this. Like I'm a lister. I will forever have a list going, and it usually never gets completed. But I always write things down. So I mean, it's probably not a bad idea to take and compartmentalize habits. Is not a bad idea. No, not at all.
Yeah. So this morning I got up. Before I got up, I lay there. I thought about what I need to accomplish today. Of course, I tried to be very specific. Started, I need a shower. I need to take some more medicine for this poison ivy. I got the camera way back. Y'all can't see it, but I know I was going to tell everybody that Joni hit me in the eye, but see the poison ivy off to the side of here. It's made my eye.
Why are you playing on poison ivy? What the hell?
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. That's why. You should have seen this. This is way better. Saturday night, you can barely see my eye was so swollen from the poison ivy, but I wanted immediately. The weakness I have on Mondays is when I get back, I'll slack around. I've got a lot of shipping to do today, but I'll play on the internet. I'll play on Todd's show. I'll do whatever. And my goal was to get back here by 8:30 so that I can get my shipping done by noon. Because I wanted to set time parameters because I wanted to. These are things I needed to get done, and I need to improve Mondays because I never get any listing done on Mondays because I'll be pushing 3:00, get my shipping done to the post office by 4. Then I'll watch John's show and mess around there, and then I won't do anything later on. And so I'm trying to put habits in that I will do a couple hours work after dinner. So I'm trying to make it some results and stuff. And I'm also trying to get more efficient through the day. So put systems in through the day. And so today, when I got back, I turned Todd's show on for a minute. I said a couple comments and I listened, but I immediately started shipping. I had 74 to ship today.
Jeez.
So remember, one of the things that has really helped in my results, with my shipping was, remember, I'm trying to buy items that the biggest box they go in is that 1086. That was my biggest box. 30 of my items fit in 642 boxes. and I've got a bunch of 10-4. I've got boxes. I have been specifically buying boxes for the stuff, trying to plan ahead for the stuff that I, as I chase a certain item, figure out what it goes in, and make sure I've got the appropriate things to make shipping so much easier. And so I blast it through shipping. And I know John and Jennifer are trying to be nice for Johnny. Johnny doesn't do anything. I'm the one.
Hell no.
She takes a nap. She's probably been there right now napping. I mean, she's had 17 surgeries. She gets a break. But if she'll get Jacob to do my shipping if I'm gone and I need it. That's been once this year. Once. It's going to happen more and more. So one of my goals is to get this place organized by the end of this week. And then so that the next week I can be gone for 3 to 4 days, and that they will be able to walk out here with my improved shipping and then the improved area, be able to take. And then when I get home with all the stuff, I'll be able to process it. That's been a weakness as well, not having where to put it. So I'm thinking, how do I make these habits? I'm the worst about putting stuff up in my, so I'm trying to think about these habit loops and habit change and make it to where I become a person that when I finish with something, I organize and clean it up before I leave the space. Normally I just walk away. It's terrible.
So I have a question. How much does just sheer repetition help you develop a good habit? There's an old I went to college and I was in the music world for quite a while. And one of the old sayings was, how do you make it to Carnegie Hall for your big performance? And everyone would answer, practice, practice, practice.
Okay, so here we go. So he talks about that at the very end of the book. Some of his secrets, and one of the things he talks about is repetition, and you've got to fall in love with the boredom. It's what's the difference between an all-star and just a regular, basketball player. Let's say basketball player. You've heard the legendary of Kobe getting there early, shooting more shots than anyone. Jordan did the same thing. These guys were so honed in to become the greatest and the best at their position in their craft that they fell in love with the practice, the ordinary, the grind, falling in love with the grind. So you think about it. So immediately, he's probably not listening, but I don't know what James calls his new channel, The Great Reseller Life. I think that's James now. Instead of My Boring Reseller Life, is The Great Reseller. But you can't tell me that dude has not fallen, with the passion of listening. He lists hundreds and hundreds of items every day. The grind that it takes to get 50,000 listens. I can't imagine the kind of the effort and difficulty he has put into that store over the last 22 years to build and build and build. And so you've got to look at examples like that in reselling and to understand that it's Dusty was the same way. Dusty, he was at the end when he was doing postcards, he was listing 300 postcards a day, just blowing through them. It's 20, 30,000 listings. You've got the ordinary and the mundane, the stuff that keeps you going forward as you incrementally get better through the repetitions of the, once you've learned something on the back of your hand, you add the next thing to it. And then you continue practicing what you had did, and then the new thing. Now you've got 2, and then you've got 3, and then you've got 4. Larry just made it to the pool hall, barely. Very nice. So Doug says, his pops always says, don't practice until you can get it right. Practice so that you can't get it wrong. And it's a different way. That's the way you got to look at it. How many people look at it as, I think, practice until you can't get it wrong and that is what I think Jordan and Kobe did. But it's, what was the name of that? I'm trying to think. He had a thing at the very end. So his golden rule of habits, and he says as you build these habits and you positively incrementally change your life, he said the one thing you can do is never let it slip. He says there's going to be some times in your life where you on a habit that you say if you want to go to the gym 5 days a week or 6 or 7 days. Let's just 7 is easier. If you want to go to the gym every day of the week and something happens and you can't go on Monday, he says the golden rule of habits is he says never miss 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And so I think about that, and I think about one of the habits I did really well last year. I'm terrible at it this year. Is I stayed on low carbs for 10 and a half, 11 months last year. The problem is you take a couple of days off. And I'm sitting there thinking in my own life, if you have a bad meal, don't have 2 bad meals in a row.
Right.
And so that's the practice I'm going to try because I want to be in the habit of I got to get rid of the sugar. Well, right now, this damn prednisone to get rid of poison ivy is killing me. Prednisone gives you the munchies, something terrible. God. But after I get over this poison ivy and the damn prednisone that I'm on, it is. So what was? So Better Barbie says if you can do a task in 2 minutes or less, then do the task immediately. Then you can get some quick rewards for the day. No, you're 100% correct. It's part of the habit. It's part of the habit loop. The reward is the reward, and if you'll do that again and again, that reward will make you do it over and over. It changes. I was done with shipping at 12. So I organized some on that side, and I've actually listed 17 items on eBay today. Me, 17. Y'all don't understand. I didn't get 17 listed at all last week. I didn't get 17 done last week. And this is Monday, my craziest day where Biff, oh my God, I've got one of those mid-draw packs, whatever it is, so it slowly will wean off, but yeah. Yeah, Jenna, my eye, see it? You can see it down the beard. Yeah. God,
that looks like it's sore, man.
No, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't. No way, one way or the other. But this is a good book, folks. This is one that I can't highly recommend enough. The golden rule of habits: never miss twice. A single missed session can derail progress. Strive for consistency over perfection, and he ties that into the 1% incremental gain, because if you're compounding that competitive repetition, and you're gaining, you lose. The example he uses is, so here you go. So you sell $100 today, and tomorrow you sell 150. So that's what, a 50% gain on sales over the day before. To lose that 50 back is only losing 33%. So a 33% loss puts you back to where you were. The loss weighs more on you than the gain that you get. I think I explained that right. So it's, I gotta figure out what book is next. I'll ask Josh if there's any he recommends or what he's reading. I read All In between this one. All In was a good one. So Maggie says her favorite quote from the book is, "You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." Yeah, you've got to have goals, but it's the systems are what gets you there. Without systems, goals are just pipe dreams. And it's, in my life, I've got to start thinking about how I do that. So Todd says Joe Rogan does something hard that he hates first thing in the morning, then he says the rest of the day seems easy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's 100% makes sense.
Totally. I try and do that. It's hard. You want to do the easy things, and get that easy reward.
So the reason why I'm taking prednisone for poison ivy, there is a preservative that they put in like triple antibiotic and a lot of those pain relievers and pain creams. and it is a preservative that holds it in holds the solution in suspension. Whatever. I'm allergic to most of those things, and so any of those topical creams or stuff would make all they would do is just piss off poison ivy. I'd have poison ivy all over my face. So yeah, if you so Biff said it way better than I did. So Biff, you should have come on the show. You didn't even have to turn the camera on. If your sales drop by 30%, 33, 50% to get it back to where you were, and that's why that's why he talks about. That's why it's important not to miss this. If you miss one, don't miss two in a row, because the compound effects of starting over and catching back up take much longer. The negative effects of catching back up to where you were by missing. Um, Craig, you're late. You're going to be put in the penalty box. So Ron said he's been on prednisone for 10 years. Well, I got like 4 more days. Hopefully, we'll be done with it. But it's I'm about to have a book partner for the next one. Somebody's going to have to, when I figure out what the book is, I'll have it figured out by the Wednesday show.
All right, I'll listen to the next one.
Scout's owner.
We're out on the road. I'll listen to the next one. I swear.
So I skipped the last book because it was the other one was crazy. It was just dry, man. It was dry. It was smart and thought out, but it was just a little dry. But this one is just stuff that you feel like I'm gonna listen to it again within the next 3 months, because I want to start trying to apply some of the things to try to build some good habits. And I think that if say the middle of the summer, towards the end of the summer, if I listen to it again, it'll help reinforce some of the things I'm doing and can help me improve on others. So that's my challenge. I've got it. My phone is going to remind me July 15th to read this one again. That's the nice thing I like about Audible. I'm listening using Audible. You've got copies of the book. So
how much does that cost?
It's like $14 a month.
That's not bad.
No, one book's you get one book a month. So even if it's not the book I'm reading, I pick out a book that's more than $14. Because like when we did our Rich Dad Poor Dad, that one, the book was on sale for like $5, and so I picked another one as my book of the month and paid the $5 for that one.
That's gotta be great while you're driving, you know. Listen to a lot of the book.
Older brother, Daniel. Yeah, poison ivy. Yeah, I was just cutting around the back of the fence. I didn't realize there was anything back there. It just looked like regular trees, but I'm really bad allergic to it. I should have immediately done like I always do. When I finish cutting anything, I go in and take a shower just to make sure I didn't do that. If I had the habit of doing that like I should. Yeah, that was terrible. Going to try Libby. Yeah, garden resale thrifts. It's different state to state. Alabama doesn't. So Jacob is in Virginia, and they have much more copies. I tried to get myself on this book, and it was like 11 weeks out. I'm like, oh well, I'll just pay for it. But it's a good one. It's a challenge. I feel like that I'm thinking better as I spend more of my time. So I'm trying on these trips. So this last trip, I was gone for 2 days, a lot of driving. So the habit that I'm trying to pick up is I've normally, when I've done all this driving all these years, it's just been me and the radio or me or on the phone. So I try to divide it into thirds, the phone 1/3, the radio 1/3, and then listen to a book the other third. And so I can get some productivity out of that time. And so I left here at 4 a.m. Since nobody was up at 4 a.m., I started out with the book. And so I listened to the book for the first 4.5 hours of the trip, because I got to first door at 8:30. So I had 4.5 hours of listening to James Clear, and really made a lot of sense. I mean, time. If you got a long road trip, time. If you can get immersed into a book, man, time flies. Didn't seem. I mean, the miles, just me and the trucks, time was flying. Check out the 48 laws of power. How come you can text me? Well, I couldn't cut twigs. What the hell?
I know. What's up with that?
Haven't you cut 300 yet?
I know. How long can it take?
Yeah. How long can it take?
It just sticks.
Um. So Biff said he's been working a niche for 3 years and continues to find ways. But so Biff says that you've got a bigger store. So as the habit of falling in love with the process, falling in love with the grind, the repetition, because it's got to be tough to get started to build yourself up. Only $900 for sticks. Dude, Cairo was scary. Cairo was.
Yeah.
You're in trouble, Dave. Yeah, Cairo looks like a. Watch one of those doom and gloom TV shows where it shows you how long it takes for nature to take back over an area, like after humanity or whatever. And it looks like Cairo is well on its way to be taken over. This is, there's certain things you can do, and we're in trying times, and things are difficult, but change the way you think, change your outlook on business, get better ideas, and self improvement. All these things give you an advantage over just the ordinary person who's just trying to get through. Are you in trouble?
No.
Hey, she's got a refrigerator again. She should be happy.
She should be, right? Worked hard on it.
Do you find it's harder to develop good habits the farther you get along in life? Like, the old saying, you can't teach an old dog a new trick.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either.
I would say as you've gotten older and wiser, you know better, and you try and focus on it. Where when you were younger, you let it just kind of.
I think being the older you get, the more deliberate you have to become to get things done. And so I think developing systems and those kind of things can help you.
So not necessarily, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it. The generalizations are what kind of get us in trouble. When you start speaking in generalizations, it's.
I mean, history is full of older folks doing their best work when they're old. Like Grandma Moses, the painter, and such.
Look at when KFC when Colonel Sanders was 64 when he opened his first one. Colonel Sanders was in his 60s when he opened his first one.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure he was in his 60s. Somebody check me out on that. I'm pretty sure Colonel Sanders was up there. Well, Todd, just look at your president, how good he's doing in his 80s.
Which one? Yeah, Reagan did a good job. Yeah, he did.
John, if I had your phone number, John, I'd have called you and visited you the other day, but I didn't have your phone number, so I didn't come.
Julia Child. That's right, Major.
Let me see how close I was to you, John. Let me look it up on a map.
But like Jimmy Carter, he was still swinging a hammer when he was 88, 89. Building Habitat for Humanity houses.
I was in. I spent the night in. I spent the night in Sykeston. Is that how you say it? Sykes. I was in Sykeston.
Misery.
I think this is farther north as I went. I went a little farther up, not much. But I think I was within what, about an hour and a half of you? 2 hours max. Yeah, I was there Thursday night. Yeah, I was out hunting. I'll be back. I had a good time in there. I'm about to go through all through Missouri, just for the kicks of it. So Flippagus says Colonel Sanders was older. My dad did business with him back in the day in California. You picture him and Oliver's sister. Yeah, Larry, he's in Farmington. All right, no, he's in Fredericktown. Aren't you in Fredericktown? He's in one of them. Oops. I did real good in I did real good at Popular Bluff. That was a good place. I almost stayed there, but then I decided I'd driving up since I was going to leave out through Charleston and through Cairo to get into Kentucky. Dude, I went to Mayfield, Kentucky. I got hit with that heavy F4 a couple years ago. Ooh. I'm riding around downtown. I'm like, this whole place is just cleared. They haven't built anything back. I'm like, I had forgotten that it went through there. And I asked one of the ladies that I saw at one of the stores, and she said, yeah, a couple years ago, they got hit by a high F4, close to an F5, and killed 57 people in that town.
Damn.
Yeah, John, I might have been in the Dexter Walmart. You never know these things. Not that I would pull up to a Walmart that's a single door and pull right up to the curb. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I need to get your real phone number. I have some number, but I think you struggled with a phone for a while. So everybody in the chat, is there any things you're doing in 2024 to make you better so that your business is better? You got any ideas of the things that, because the platforms are all going to change, they're going to change. And I understand our job is to identify their change and better use those changes in our business. But I think the more important thing is to change the person. You need to keep improving you in order to take advantage of these things. They want to know if you're rich since silver's at $32 an ounce.
Man, this silver and gold have been on a tear the last 4 weeks.
Until the powers that be decide that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I definitely I've tried to, one of the things that's made me successful, and I guess they're the same thing as habits. I've tried to have systems in place how I make decisions in this business. When doing retail arbitrage, I have minimums, minimum buys. If a product doesn't make a certain profit percentage, I won't mess with it. And so it takes a lot of the guesswork out. It makes it where you don't find as many you don't make as many bad buys if you have a set of rules. And I've got exemptions in place to where if certain things are in line, I will go under my target goal. So on that trip last week, 12 stores in a row, I didn't buy anything. Jeff says he's thinking about getting a part-time job so he can buy heavy during the bad time. John, I think you're right, and that they're thinking they got to do it now, because if they don't do it now, don't know that they can cheat enough to keep Big Orange out this time, and they can't control him. No, they have their way right now. The powers that be. Um,
I think John's trying to set me up. I think
yes, Todd does eat every show.
it's digital currency is it's like the devil's hand at work. It really is. But that's an old man's opinion. And we've just fallen into it. My boys, they don't even carry cash. None.
Is it story time yet? No, it's not story. And so that has really helped me through. And I think it's a strength of my decision making for retail arbitrage. Um, you know, I have apps that tell me if there's been any IP claims or any of those kinds of. So to keep, so I make decisions. I also early on decided that just because it wasn't right for one platform, you had to have a second platform. So I've always had eBay as my second platform, and it's not all. I mean, it's always been say 20% of the business, but without that, that becomes a significant amount if you're out there putting in all this effort. Like I drove the Missouri back, for God's sake. What are y'all laughing at now?
What Sadie said. Sorry. I'm derailing your book talk. But
somebody ban Larry.
Folks, if you don't use currency, we're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a long time.
I know. It's so easy to whip out the debit card.
I realize it. I don't carry cash hardly ever
carry
at all.
Cash at all.
No.
You don't buy anything with it.
That's what yard sales are for. I have cash all the time because of yard sales.
I reap rewards everywhere I shop. I'm getting some percentage back somewhere.
What's going to happen to the fair drug trade if we don't have cash?
So John,
what's going to happen to garage sales? What's going to happen to stripper bars? What's going to happen?
John, we know that's a lie because you're married to a redhead, and she's probably like every other redhead. So you would wake up dead one of these mornings.
Right.
There's going to be a card reader hung about the neck of strippers.
Right.
That's gonna give that's gonna give them the meaning to swiping the card in the slot. There you go.
Right. no more making it rain.
But it's
you see it at a lot of garage sales now. We take Venmo. We take.
But that's where I've been strong on systems, but I've been weak on systems here, and so I think that's the incremental improvement I need. Is I need to improve on systems every single day, and improve on things in here every day, so that the easier and the more automatic it becomes, that it's easier for me to have Johnny or Jacob, one of them, come out here. I use cash every week at the yard sales. I get cash every week,
and it costs somebody something to run a card. The businesses have to pay like 3% to a card company. At least the local businesses do. So a lot of our local businesses have started charging extra to use a card.
Yeah, a couple of the restaurants we go to charge you extra if you pay with a card.
Now, when I go sourcing, I always take cash with me because you're always going to hit that one spot.
Mm-hmm.
They probably don't know how to. Listen, you're probably right. They probably don't know how to make change. 100%. But it's So definitely read this book. It's important to get you thinking in terms of making incremental change in your business. That you don't are you happy where you are now? Then you need to continue to do some habits in order to get better, because staying where you are is not going to be good enough. Hey Jennifer, I shipped 74 and I found all 74. Aren't you proud? One of them was a pain in the ass, but I found it. And it was within arm's reach. It was laying right there and I couldn't see it. And then another one I looked for, I was on the phone with somebody and I was looking for it for like 15 minutes. And it was under one thing, but on top of another thing that I had to ship. I'm like, it eventually would have been found because I'd have moved on and got the other one. But yeah, I lost 2 last week, but this week I'm 74 for 74. But I want to eliminate that kind of stuff. I don't want to have any more where I don't have the image. 74 for 74 was really good for me. And that is because I've done better. And so one of my goals is to make it where the vast majority of the stuff is here, of the stuff that I'm buying. 74 items shipped. My favorite number were in this building. All the guys will get that. Jennifer will get that now because she thinks she knows how I think. I had to go get 5 from the building. Don, I hope you've read Atomic Habits. It's a really good book. Yes, 74 minus 5. There you go, Biff. Yeah, that's the joke. There you go. But very interesting the way he, so he used Jerry Seinfeld as an example. Did you know that Jerry writes a joke every single day?
Wow.
And still does to this day. And talked about incremental processes that Steve Martin used back in the day to refine his processes. And it's a really good one. It's really helping me focus and to try to really helps you understand why you do things and gives you tips and understanding to do bad to remove the bad habits from your life, and talks about procrastination and how to remove procrastination. Yeah, Garden. I've been married for a long time. There's generally no comment from me either, so there you go. It just becomes a joke now. It's so important that I can't stress it enough that you get better every single day. And it's to think about, I'm out here. A lot of you work like I do by yourselves, or Jenna and John work together, but they have their own separate spaces. They don't cross, because if they do, Jenna starts singing rap songs. It's terrible.
Yikes.
That's why I didn't get your little song, Jenna, because I don't listen to rap. I don't listen to hip hop. No, John, I agree. And I have focused more on that this year. I have focused more on. I enjoy getting out on the road. I enjoy. So I talked to someone I never talked to on the phone today, and so I'm an introvert, and so I've tried to think. I've been trying to think of what systems and process can I put in place to get better at not being an introvert. And other words, ask Dave. Dave will call me 10 times for every one time I call him. And Dave has two good friends that are introvert, and he goes, Yeah, if I wait on you two idiots, I'd never talk to y'all.
Right?
Oh, I listen to country now. I love me some country. Can't listen to 90s country. Yeah, I listened to a lot of country on this road trip, as a matter of fact. When you take an Adderall in the car, you got to be careful. You can't have too much crazy music going on, or you'll really be bouncing off the wall.
Trouble brewed.
It's all I could do to keep my mind focused and listen to the book when I took half an Adderall. Ooh, because I went to bed at 10 the night before, knowing I was going to get up at 3. So I knew I was only going to get 5 hours sleep. Well, at 1 o'clock, the one who doesn't do shit woke my ass up at 1 o'clock, not feeling good, and I didn't go back to sleep. So I had 3 hours sleep, and then get in the car and drive 4.5 hours. So yeah, we took half an Adderall. Ooh. I garden resell. I listen to alternative rock. I listen to a lot of alternative rock in the 80s.
I just listen to music. I like all of it. Pretty much. Country and Western, too.
You like both types, country and Western?
Yeah, both types.
Damn right. Country and Western. But so I'm trying to put systems to make a call a day. Force me to get out of my comfort zone and make a call a day. So ask Jennifer. She calls me way more than I call her. Just because it's just who I am. I can't help try. But yeah. Harlan will tell you the same thing. And he's the outgoing person. He's supposed to call.
He's supposed to call?
No, he's not in here tonight.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, you extroverts are supposed to be the ones that reach out to us introverts, damn it. But it's how do you make effective change is what I really got out of this book, and it's making systems and then working at that system every day. If I don't make a call tomorrow, don't skip 2 days. There's a lot of stuff that'll stick with you. Supposed to go.
Cha-ching.
Probably, John. I talked to him this morning, and we were at the auction this morning, and then and for something else, but yeah.
One of the easiest times for me to slack off is when things are going good.
Oh yeah.
That's the time.
That's the easiest time.
Yeah, I've lost 5 pounds. I can have that piece of cake. Hey, I've made $400 worth of sales today. I don't have to list anything.
Sales are coming in. I don't need to go back out and buy more.
No.
No, we haven't been there.
So
it won't catch up to me.
But it's amazing. This is book number 7 or 8 for me this year, and it really changes. You start the more you expose your mind to and about these systems, concepts, and just learning. It's amazing. You think different about things. You have a different approach. You have different motivation, and it really brings a lot of optimism that you can make effective change to yourself and an effective change to your business to make. Because as all this doom and gloom for sales and all I've tuned all that out, so y'all can have all that. Because none of that matters. If I continue to get better and get better and get better at everything I do, it doesn't matter. That means I will see opportunities. That means I will take advantage of opportunities better. I will see opportunities better. My intuition, everything about your business skills and that side of the business, which which I think has been my weakness, will get drastically better. So I've really been trying to. The next challenge too was to put systems in place to get me back to making videos again. I would have took the camera on this weekend, but I couldn't find the damn thing. That's another system. I got to start putting stuff back in the same spot. Tired of chasing. I still ain't found it. It's Monday, and I still haven't found where I put the GoPro. Damn it!
It'll turn up.
Doug, that's correct. Wilson was a genius.
Yes, he was.
You need to move. I could make retail arbitrage work where you live, John.
Huh?
You want to move, and I drove to where you live. What the hell?
Right. I was just gonna say that.
Roman lost his GoPro for months. Oh shit! I've got every other camera, but I need a GoPro. No, Biff. The restaurant business was one long lesson in pain and misery.
Yeah.
I must have rebelled and forgot all that craziness. God Almighty! It was a one big giant. I was a psychologist, a sociologist.
Biscuit bitch.
Yeah, I was definitely the biscuit bitch every now and then. Ooh.
I'm the biscuit bitch.
Doug, that's a great thought. If you're tired, learn how to rest. Don't learn how to quit. See, I told y'all, if y'all just, I didn't even thumbs up John's show.
Ooh.
Ooh, damn.
Uh-oh.
I just listed those. Y'all want to see what I sold?
Sure.
It's still in the light booth.
It's still on the light booth.
That's funny. Ooh. Those are happening.
All right, so what do y'all's guess? How much did I sell the sunglasses for?
$50.
These are used sunglasses that I bought at a yard sale. I gave her $3 for them.
$50 plus shipping.
That's who made them. I never heard of them before. I was going to take them to the auction, and I looked them up, and I was like, well, shit.
I don't know. I guess 110.
Ooh.
I wish.
Ooh. Am I close?
Larry is very close.
Ooh.
The real Larry. If you take Larry and Biff and split them, those are $65 sunglasses.
66 free shipping. That was close.
Yeah, free shipping.
That was close.
I never heard of William Painter. I don't know what they were worth, and none of that one had sold. But they were all in the ballpark, and I'm like, I listed that right before John showed. That's how fast they sold. How's everybody's eBay sales? I'm telling you, I have cut that. If it depends on what kind of store. So it wouldn't work for Biff because Biff has a different business model. But I cut back so much I cut half my store back, and decided, you know what, enough's enough of the shit. Sold $150 on eBay today. Which before I cut it in half, I was averaging maybe 40 a day. I had 4 or 5 no sales for the first time in years. I had a bunch of days in the 20s and 30s. Yesterday I sold. What did I sell yesterday? I sold 478 yesterday. I'm at 150 today. Jenna, not everybody can have your wonderful store. maybe you should try thumbs it up in my video. Maybe that'll give you.
Yeah.
So Mike said when he lived in Florida, sunglasses were a major purpose. These are just yard sale, folks. These were yard sales I picked up. They had some. They were selling some cool stuff. They had. I bought a pair of these, but they're black. Folks, it's out there. So at 10:30, the last yard sale me and Harlan went to, we picked up 2 bikes. He bought the little beach cruiser looking one, and I bought the funky one with the shocks and all the crazy, the 18 speed or whatever. They were $10 each. And then there was a phone laying on our tent. I said, "Did somebody lose phone? Is this?" He goes, "Oh no, that phone's for sale." I'm like, "What you want for it?" He goes, $20. I said, "Is it completely reset? Is fine? My iPhone turned off?" He's like, "Yeah, it's an iPhone 12. I upgraded, so I just want $20 for it." So Jacob got an iPhone 12, so I'm gonna sell his iPhone 10. So I upgraded his phone for $20 at a yard sale. It's a 256. So that gets MagSafe, that gets everything. John keeps listing leftovers in your store, Jenna. What do you tell him to list some good stuff?
Oh.
But it's there's out there, and I just started listening to stuff from this weekend. Last weekend I've got to send this FBA order in tomorrow. That's trying to get systems in place on my phone. I started doing that, and then I started skipping, and now I just keep marking complete, even though I don't do it to make it go away. So I haven't used sales. I've got promoted, but my maximum percent is 8%. So I'm not promoting super heavy in these categories. Let's see if this was a promoted sale. Let's see. The last 2 were. So everything that I sold today, I listed today.
Imagine that. Still in the booth.
I was listening during John's show, so I saw Wii Sports got 25 for that. And I sold these. I got $10 for these. But Beard, I only paid a quarter for them. I got 12 of them for. I got 12 of them for $3, but 2 of them were different. And I didn't realize that 2 of the 12 were different. So I just stuck these up there for $10 and they sold. And then on Amazon, during so Jenna, do y'all guarantee Amazon sales too with your little thing? Your little I sold a $500 printer during your show on Amazon. I didn't know it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So Larry, in times of needs, in times of bad times, needs are going to outdo the wants, but you can't ignore the wants because there's a segment of the population that's going to have money and going to spend money and going to buy with it. Even in bad times, there are people that it's not going to affect. And so to mix some, I would tell you to make sure that you've got some of the few of the wants. So go on research. This just sent out. I'm the world's worst. I need a system in place to tell me when to send out offers because I don't need to rely on the Jennifer asking me, did I send out offers method like once a week? And I go, no. And then I have to hear, what are you doing? I'm like, not selling on eBay. That's what I'm doing.
So I've sold 14 items on Amazon since we started the show.
Are you serious?
Nice.
Yeah.
Because you were telling me how dead it was.
It totally was dead. Like, dude, I woke up at noon and was at 0. I'm like, am I going to get fucking skunked? Like, I haven't been skunked in years. Now it's popping off.
Yeah, people are waking up. Have I sold anything to cross it? I was hoping to cross 1,000 tonight. Nope. So, John, I agree with that. You should focus on what sells for you and double down on that. That's his model that works. Yeah, every business is different. Everybody's model is different, and the items that sell for you, that's exactly what you should be focused on and improving on your items and your best items. You know, items. Be the expert. I miss Crazy Picker Life, and he'd be a real good example right now because his son got really geeked out into cameras. They sold a lot of cameras and they bought out camera stores and stuff. But man, the young kid, man, he knew so damn much about. And because between him and his dad, they were had such great knowledge on cameras and ran a camera store. They got 25 to 30% more in prices because they had such a repeat business because people knew they could count on those guys, and they described accurately, they delivered promptly, they delivered great. Everything about being the expert, and they got extra price for being the expert. John, I miss those guys. They cost people gave them hell for introducing the kids into the family business, which makes no damn sense whatsoever. None. That should be, in this day and age, that should be applauded. You take enough interest in your children to teach them valuable life skills and not fall into the model of put them in $200,000 in debt and tell them to have good luck in the world. With your English degree, as you go tie yourself to a fucking tree or block traffic, because that's all you're qualified to do.
Oh, I need a beer now. Come to this part.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my, he was fast with a Rubik's Cube, dude. Oh my god. He made me feel old just while he was going through he go through a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds or something crazy. Tom started out with a pretty large test strip business on Amazon. Who was Tom?
Well, whatever we're doing, we got to keep it going.
He's talking about Crazy Picker Life. That's what he did. Test strips.
Oh no, he did. No,
Was
and
his
that
name
was
Tom?
interesting. No, he was not Tom. His name wasn't Tom. Oh, the internet never forgets.
I forget. Yeah, and he also sold like air conditioning ducts or something with air conditioners.
No, so he would run ads like in Craigslist and stuff, buying test strips and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Tom is his name. Okay.
Maybe it's because all I knew him was Wheeler.
Dealer. Wheeler was the boy.
The son and dealer and banana peeler too. They've still got videos up, but
do they?
Yeah, their channel is still up. Yeah, it's a shame. Listen, it's insane to me how much hate there is. Tom is his name. Well, damn. Learn something tonight.
I can't believe Sadie knows more than I do. Damn.
Core memory unlocked. Yeah, I learned it. I just, he was one of the channels, because I don't watch a ton of reselling, but he truly had a passion for reselling. It was very entertaining, and just he found cool. He's the reason why one of my goals is I got to get out to the Nebraska junk jaunt. If not this year, next. It's coming. To roll out there, because The craziness. If it's about old resellers, Larry is the guy. Listen, I don't get why that is so looked down upon these days. There's going to be a time coming real soon where you're going to wish that these kids taught their sons to be electricians and plumbers. We're already short on those. We might be. Could we be?
Tony, we got to keep this stream going. I don't know, something's going
Man,
on.
I just listed that tonight, and I've been leaving them every damn where. Jennifer, remember the picture I sent you? Yeah, J Rod. So I'm trying to. I don't know if you've been following J Rod, but I've been trying to change the. You can't change the platforms. I can change me. I can change the way I deal with it and the way I think and improve my skills as a business person. So I've been trying to read 3 books a month and do one book we talk about in public on a Monday night. And man, this is a good one. Read the book.
Read the book to us. Yeah.
Baseball, you realize we've been here an hour and 12 minutes. Where have you been?
You already read it. What the hell?
He's the one that talks about I'm late, and here it is, an hour and 12 minutes, and he's just now getting here.
You missed the whole book.
The whole damn book.
The whole book.
Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday at church, we had our senior recognition day. It was 61 seniors.
They count you as a senior?
No. Students graduating from high school. And
okay.
Of the 61, 59 were going to college, and 2 were going to take a year off. And not a single one of them was going into like a technical career. I thought that was amazing. Not a one.
So I was just about to ask you, J. Rod, what were your 3? Since you said you had 3. Atomic Habits, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Human Beings. That is on my list. That was on my list. Let me write down the psychology of mine.
John, it's a big church. It's thousands. They have 3 worship services every Sunday. The main service.
Todd is the Grand High Senior. There you go.
Yeah. No, it wasn't old person senior day. It was graduating seniors day.
So J Rod, my challenge to myself after reading this book is to try to start some habits and to make some improvements on the things that I want to do, and then read the book again in July 15th. Read it again, and to see if I can glean even more to improve on what I've started and to help remind me to get rid of others and how to effectively use the slow incremental change.
Yeah, we've been driving over to the big town to go to church. We haven't been going to church here in town.
John, it's been a change. I don't have the patience and stuff to sit down and read a book. I'm an old dude. If I sit in a recliner, I'm going to sleep. Me and Phoebe are going to take a nap. I'm surprised she hadn't been out here. Did I shut the door? I must have. But they were out here. So Jay Rice says he tries to read it once a year. He is smart in the lessons he learned and built through his life. Yeah, James Clear's a smart guy for sure. Yeah, listen, it makes no sense. I mean, there's no looking down on the trades. We're gonna need so many tradesmen. You're not gonna be able to get air conditioners fixed, electricians, plumbers. You better
fix it yourself.
I can take care of a lot of my own plumbing and stuff, because I'm kind of half-ass handy. But just think about how many people are not.
I know, right?
Yeah, John. So I'm doing 3 a month. I gotta start another one pretty quick. because I'm out here a lot by myself, and so I'm trying to. One of the habits I'm trying to effectively use is only. Now I'll listen to YouTube, so Bigfoot or something will be on the TV over there. So if you don't know, there's a TV over there on the stairs. But it's just hooked to the internet. So it needs to be a third music, and then a third books. So all right, baseball. I give up. How do you read a paper book?
Left to right.
But if I watch YouTube to fix a lot of stuff, it's amazing what you can learn just watching some. There's a lot of really good videos out there to teach you just about to do anything. The problem is with HVACs, you got to have certain equipment because if you're gonna repair them and stuff, anything with compressors, you got to have vacuums and everything else, vacuum machines and all that craziness. Because you, heaven forbid, the government come after you if you release some freon into the air. You know, because Al Gore told us in the '90s that all the beaches will be wiped away by 2000. That's what he told us. People believe that stupid shit.
Was it George Carlin said, there's the ozone layer, and then there's the fart layer.
Yeah.
That you're when everybody on Earth farts, it goes above the ozone layer and it just sits there. So there's a fart layer. He was a funny dude.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke. I listen to books. I can't read them. I have to have story. I have to have story time every day.
Right.
And don't let not be able to afford a book or that kind of stuff, because most of these books you can find on YouTube. So the audio version you can find on YouTube for free. Rob says he feels dumb right after listening to the fart layer thing. Oh my god. But it's amazing. That's and I think I know my numbers are better. Thought I heard Phoebe scratching at the door. Yeah, did you watch videos to fix your did you watch the videos to fix your refrigerator, Dave?
Oh yeah, about 25 of them, because I couldn't find my specific model, but I could get it down to a brand that was close enough and similar, and then I knew how to not break the plastic tabs. Yeah. Yeah, I do it for just about everything. If I can fix it myself, I will.
Fountain of knowledge. I'm a farting of knowledge.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you just live long enough. It's amazing all the crap you learn along. I mean, just all the stuff that is worthless.
Worthless information. Yeah.
I know. It's
lots of it.
All right, I'm gonna shut this one down. But I challenge each one of you to read this book. Even J. Wright came in and gave it his blessing. So if the kids are listening to it, us old people can listen to it too, right? And on Wednesday, I'll tell you what the next book is. So tune into the Wednesday morning show. Oops, it'll be going Wednesday morning. Right here. Same Same channel.
Thank
yes,
you,
and
Beard,
yes,
for
Ron.
putting on a stimulating conversation this evening.
I know I had such great, wonderful help. Thank you guys.
Well, we do our best.
Hey, I
J Riders.
asked a good question. Come on.
J Rod's been alive for more than 10,000 days. J Rod, how old are you? I think my son's as old as you are. Yeah, I'm out. Roll Tide. And that's true. Never trust a fart when you're over 50. Wise words. 28. Jake will be 26, so close enough.